Welcome to Washington Financial Group
Weekend Update with Elena Peerson, Financial Wellness Strategist.
And Jay Sanford, Director of Investment Strategy. What we have tried to do here is lighten the mood. Believe it or not, we both have, and we are both hosting, podcasts within the WFG stratosphere.
And we have decided, while we are usually in fierce competition with each other for ratings and listeners, to come together, obviously in a social distanced opportunity, to collaborate on not just Jay's boring technical investment podcasts, but also some pop culture TV things that we are indulging in our free time.
TV things. That's an interesting way of describing it. Thank you, Elena.
You're welcome.
Anyway, I agree. We need to lighten the mood just a little bit. And we got together, socially distanced, of course, and came up with some movies that neither of us have seen, or one of us has seen and the other have not, and some series that we should watch and maybe do some commentary to get something out there that isn't necessarily investment or wellness related.
But you might benefit from.
I don't know that you're going to benefit from this on any level, but at least it's not me talking about sectors and countries and returns and oil, and that's a good thing.
Speaking of which, I consulted with Jay earlier today about hoarding oil in my apartment. I calculated that it contains about 5,500 cubic usable feet of storage space. And so I asked him if I should be storing barrels there because I could profit, and his answer was a resounding
absolutely not. The asbestos in your apartment is worse enough. Let's keep the oil out of this. Moving on, let's talk about some movies. All right, so believe it or not, we came across a couple of movies that one of us has seen and one of us has not. And you're going to be surprised at the names that we're going to actually share right now. The movie that I brought up, Shawshank Redemption. Everyone's seen it, right?
No.
Wrong.
I've not
Elena
seen Shawshank.
had not seen it.
To be fair, I spent my childhood overseas, so you have to give me a break on this one. I had not seen it. I had heard of the movie. I just hadn't gotten there. So we decided, all right, we're going to watch Shawshank. We're going to give some feedback. Excellent film, truly. I felt like it was still relevant. It has aged well, unlike the top of Jay's head, so that's good news.
That's rude. So who doesn't like a film that is narrated by Morgan Freeman, of course, the narrator of our life? So she finally got a chance to see it. I'm pretty sure Shawshank Redemption was in whatever Eastern European country that you were visiting.
It was
no
not.
Offense.
We watched a lot of Cool Runnings, but not Shawshank.
Okay, Cool Runnings. So overall, as a male in his 40s, really? Everyone knows that Shawshank Redemption is one of the best movies ever. How would you rate Shawshank Redemption?
I would say 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. Mm-hmm. Love it. All right, so you came up with a movie that I hadn't seen and that you absolutely love, which was
Grand Budapest Hotel.
Grand Budapest Hotel, directed by
Wes Anderson.
Wes Anderson. And who is always in these movies?
Oh, he has a variety of recurring actors that show up in most of his films. One of them, I would say most iconic, would be Bill Murray.
Bill Murray. That's what I was actually hoping you would say.
Yes. Owen Wilson, the Wilson brothers are in there. Ben Stiller pops up every now and then. Ben
Stiller not in Grand Budapest,
he's
just
not,
for the record.
Ray Fiennes is. But again, he has a cast of sort of recurring characters. And
all right, so I had not seen it, just to cut you off there, because we're not asking for a complete expose of Wes Anderson. Right. We might all fall asleep like I did during the pandemic. I thought it was fantastic. The writing is great. The repartee between actors is fantastic.
I'm surprised you liked it. I thought it would be too artsy for you.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I like Rock'em Sock'em. I like John Wick. I like Avengers. But Grand Budapest, I would give it a 9 as well.
Thank you.
So let's call it a truce on this.
Okay.
Shawshank Redemption, great.
Grand Budapest, also great.
Grand Budapest, also great.
So what are things that we've both watched recently that we've enjoyed? We both watched, I think, Tiger King.
Tiger King, let's go.
That's the tiger in the room. Terrible. Absolutely atrocious. Is it entertaining? Yes. Does it make me sad for society? Also yes.
So I thought the best joke that I read was watching Tiger King was like watching Cops without cops. All right? Which I think is exactly correct.
I haven't seen that.
Completely entertaining, a little bit to your point. I agree with you. A sad look into society, but it might go down as the COVID-19 series of the millennium.
I have to agree with that. And frankly, I think the most useful piece of information that I learned from Tiger King, which I shared with you, is that it actually only costs about $2,000 to $4,000 on average to purchase a baby tiger, which is cheaper in many cases than your average purebred French bulldog from a breeder. Just saying.
Sad. Very sad. Very funny, I guess, is what you were going with there. I don't know. I am completely uncomfortable with the entire thing. At the end of the day, I wouldn't mind to have a tiger in my house.
It would be really cool for a little while.
Agreed.
And then we'd have to donate it to a rescue.
Agreed. All right, so unorthodox. Quick quote. Yes or no?
Unorthodox, fantastic. I found it kind of on a whim. It's 4 episodes. It's about a community in Williamsburg. It's about...
Williamsburg, Virginia?
No, I'm sorry, Williamsburg, Brooklyn.
Thank you. We're not all city folk.
Highly recommend. Fantastic little 4-episode series based on the book. I thought that was really very, very interesting and a good little reprieve from daily.
From Tiger King, quite frankly.
Yes, from Tiger King. It was very interesting.
So the exact opposite of Tiger King. I thought it was great as well. I learned a lot. Funky, strange, entertaining, in a dark way, in a great way.
What about we both watched Ozark? That was very good. Such a good series.
All right, Jason Bateman. I think
I love Jason Bateman.
My actor of my generation. I'm going to say yes to Ozarks all day long.
Oh, it was so good. What else did we... Pandemic. You mentioned that earlier, that you were falling asleep during Pandemic. I watched the whole series.
I saw the dude on CNBC today.
Yeah.
Talking about getting a vaccine and curing the whole thing. I liked the first episode and a half, and literally I fell asleep through the rest.
Yeah, I do think it kind of tuckered off there after a while, but I did think that the first 2 episodes were interesting. It was very relevant, and so it makes you wonder at the fact that it came out right before this pandemic.
Amazing. The fact that it came out literally at the time of a pandemic, how is that possible? 5G? I'm not sure about that. Netflix? Yes.
Netflix is behind this whole thing. Have you seen their stock price? Jay, what's the update there?
Netflix good, but we weren't talking about that. All right.
Okay.
Last thing that we're going to talk about. Internet sensations. Okay? You have to choose one. John Krasinski.
Or David Spade.
All right. Lights Out got canceled, but his daily monologue, fantastic. Hilarious.
He does it on Instagram, I believe? Or is it like Instagram and YouTube?
Correct.
So that has been watched a lot. It's very funny. He does just a couple-minute blurb, basically like a daily news update, pop culture, what's going on in the media.
Yep.
And then the other one would be, as you said, John Krasinski. He started his own little similar thing, right? It's web-based, called Some Good News.
Yes, SGN.
Which is very heartwarming. I would say that's a little bit more family-friendly.
Yes.
A lot more family-friendly, frankly.
Yes.
And that is just based off of some good news stories he curates from, all the noise that's going on today.
Yeah, so let's face facts. What he does is he literally finds every good feeling internet, TikTok, Twitter, and he puts it in a 20-minute segment.
For the record, I just taught Jay what TikTok was.
TikTok.
Yes. So anyways, he does a really cute little thing if you haven't seen it yet. In his second episode, he surprises a little girl who was supposed to go see Hamilton on Broadway and it was canceled. And so he brings Broadway to her.
This is a spoiler alert, by the way.
No, it's not. That's all I'm saying. It's a very special moment. I got very excited. I may have ran around the apartment singing. It was adorable. So
okay.
If you want a feel-good moment, I would say go for John Krasinski.
John Krasinski or David Spade. Your choice, go.
So I'm advocating for John Krasinski, but really I kind of like the dark humor because that's just kind of the person I am. So I'd actually go for Dave Spade.
I'm going John Krasinski because of Emily Blunt. That is our show tonight. Thank you so much. We appreciate you listening. I hope you enjoyed our weekend update. It's not all numbers, stocks, wellness, 401ks. We do try and keep it light as well. Be safe, stay home. And if you're in Georgia, be safe and stay home. Don't go get a tattoo.
That's it.
That's going to do it for this week's show. Thanks for listening. If you have a question that you'd like us to address in a future episode, shoot us an email at info@washfinancial.com. If you enjoy our show, we'd love for you to subscribe on iTunes or wherever you access your podcasts. The opinions voiced in this program are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which investments may be appropriate for you, consult with your attorney, accountant, financial or tax advisor prior to investing. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA, and SIPC. Investment advice offered through Global Retirement Partners, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Global Retirement Partners, Washington Financial Group, a division of Hub International Mid-Atlantic, and Hub International are not affiliated with LPL Financial.
We can start with movies that we have watched. We can go with
This is terrible.
series.
Just start over.
I actually thought that was fantastic.
No.